Mod time has come around once again for Farm Sim 25, and we've got quite a few today. 38 mods released, all platforms 10 new and 11 updates, and PC Mac players 8 new and 9 updates. New for all platforms, the new Holland T4 Series, Kramer KL30.8T, Ropa Pack, Fortschritt HTS 7104, Fliegl ASW Pack, Pöttinger SYNKRO 3030, K-Brand Deltas MTA3, Concrete 750K G-Way, Valley Falls Map, and Sumidouro Map. And new for PC and Mac players, we have the Gaher Metalic Tipping Trailer Pack, Mega Timberlong, Courseplay GPS Extension, Moveable Mirrors, Manual Cover, Slow Fold Global, Wet Speed Limit, and Vehicle Mileage. If you like staying updated with all the latest mods of Farming Simulator, make sure you're subscribed. Let's check out today's mods. Starting off today, new ones for all platforms. Got the new Holland T4 Series for PEP897A. We have just one in here. However, the screenshot shows two. Let me show you why. Well, in here first, we have horsepower 75 up to 96 horsepower. Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental, Midas, Vredestein, and Nokian tire setups. Of course, we got a nice narrow tire. We'll go with that. Design, we got the protection guard, which is moved in the back. And then we have the cabin. So you've got that if you want it. Front weight, we have a 240 or nothing. Then front loader from Stoll and Quickie. We also have rim colors as well. So there you go. That is why there's a couple different designs. This one right here is probably the one that I would go for. However, you can choose whatever you like. It's pretty cool to see a little blue tractor back at Farm Sim. Here's what she looks like in the game. Turns on a dime and is quite fun to drive. Plus, we have lots of animations on the inside as well. All the controls do work. The next one's a bit odd. This is the Kramer KL30.8T. And if this looks familiar to you, well, it should. Just last week, we got this Kramer, which has got a lot of options, a lot of things we could do with it. This one doesn't. It doesn't have any. It's like a base game piece of equipment. You have two wheel options. That's it. And power, 71 horsepower, 24 miles an hour. That's about it, man. There ain't a whole lot to this one. We're going to move on. Next one is the Ropa Pack. So these all, and there's a bunch of them in here. May look familiar to you. Yeah, it's a bunch of base game equipment stuff. However, what they've been able to do is change up color options. We also have beacon lights, chip tuning for the engine. So we have a higher horsepower engine. We do have cameras, which have been added on here too. If you have the MB Trucks pack, we got cameras around it. That's pretty cool. Real GPS if you're on PC, and also interactive control integrated, aka IC. And that's kind of everything you need to know about it. Everything else is pretty base game-esque. Of course, we got those warning lights if you wanted to utilize those. And then we have some of the bigger chip tuning setups here. You can also do kind of some interesting color options too, which I find pretty neat. And of course, the Mercedes-Benz DLC camera, you have with or without camera, which adds a camera pod inside. Camera pod monitor. I know what those are. We also have capacities, which can be increased here. Up to 90,000 liters, looks like. So pretty cool. Some of the smaller stuff doesn't have that, though. So heads up there. But yeah, otherwise, it's just a little bit modified from the things that I told you. Next is a loading wagon, the Fortschritt HTS 7104. This will hold 38,000 liters. Yes, it will. It is a big boy. And then we've got some colors. Basically, it's kind of a new and used color. I know they look pink, but it's really like a faded red. But you can also change up quite a few other things in the rim color, but that's about it. 38,000 liters, 40 horsepower required, 10 mile an hour max speed. Next is the Fliegl ASW Pack, and this is a pack. Oh my goodness, 6 trailers in here in total, from 24,800, 47.9, 28 to 51, 32 to 55, and 36 to 59. Those are just rounded off to the whole number there. But one cool thing these got is a lot of different configurations for the rear. You've got the standard push off, where the front of the trailer will push back. You've also got the manure spreader, so that's pretty sweet. And we have an auger wagon. That's also pretty sweet. So you do have those different options. Additionally, we have the push-off trailer 2,000 millimeter. And then you can also do those same setups there. Pretty cool, huh? I find that pretty neat indeed. As far as everything else goes, you got equipment line. You could change it up to either the Gigant or the Taurus. Sport arm, manual, or hydraulic at the front. Side panel extensions. We have a couple different setups for those. However, it's just visual. It doesn't actually change the stuff. Tail lights, you can either go with a halogen or LED setup. Warning stripes. Yep, we got those if you want to add them on there. Speed decal, you can add that if you want to as well. And we even have a camera setup. It's going to be a backup camera, it looks like. I don't see one on the inside anywhere. And of course, you've got the colors for the body itself and license plates. And you're going to find that throughout all of these versions. Next is a 3-meter cultivator, the Pöttinger SYNKRO 3030. 1.3 tons, 110 horsepower required, 3 meters and 9 miles an hour. And we could change a few things up for the lights, but that's it. Next up, we got the K-Brand Deltas 2 MTA3. This is basically the base game sprayer from Farming Simulator 19. It's been a little while, hasn't it? So this comes in the 1,000, the 1,300, and 1,500 liter capacities. And we got a bunch of reds and a bunch of whites and grays for your tank. What you need to know mainly, 70 horsepower, 21 meter working with, and 9 miles per hour. If you are into nostalgia, I definitely recommend picking this one up. Super cool. I've definitely got it, and I'm going to keep it. And before we get into our maps, let's talk about the concrete 750 kg weight. 750 kilograms, as you would expect. Looks like we've got a very, very cool, like handwritten, almost looks like somebody took a Sharpie or something and wrote it on there just to remind themselves how much it weighs. And then we've got colors for the chain, as well as some little metal pieces in here that hold on to everything. Otherwise, that's about it. It is nice, though, we'll say this, that you can hook up other 3-point implements on the front of this, making it pretty nice if you need something on the back of your tractor as well. Definitely recommend picking that up. It does look very cool. I like it. Now to round it out, we have a couple new maps for you guys. First one is Valley Falls. Is a European map from Viper, 787 megabytes. It is quite a big file size for a map with no required mods. It is their first map that they made for ModUp, so congratulations on the release there. 4 farmyards, 220 acres of arable farming. We also have 101 fields and 14 forestry areas. All hedges can be removed to expand your fields. Very nice to see for a UK map. It is a UK map, it's a European, but reading off the mod description here, stubble destruction has been built in. That's pretty cool. We also have seed and harvest calendar adjustment. That is also nice. More paintable textures. Cotton and sugarcane have been removed from the AI, but you can still grow them. Silver Run forest trees have been added, but you probably already knew that. Again, UK license plates, change the lime texture, change the plow texture, and new fruits added to the feeding system. A lot going on here. Also, I do not have precision farming turned on. That is just how some of these fields are. So let's take a look at it. This is what your PDA is looking like. As far as new crops go, we have quite a few of them. So you got meadow grass in there. We have winter wheat, winter barley, rye, triticale, spelt, silage, maize, vetch, rye, green rye, humus active, mustard, flowering catch crop, alfalfa, clover, field grass, and poppy. Basically, all of them are in there. Farmland, what do we got? When we got this stuff down here, the Old Town Farm. Farmland 69, nice, 70, 71, and 72. And the main farm area is farmland something. It gets a farmland name is Old Town Farm. All right, that's how they got that in there. You add the name, not the number. Very nice. Here is our main farm right here. Looks like we're using some base game buildings. One thing, if you tab over to the combine harvester, be careful because it puts you in the chicken coop. And as far as I can tell, the chicken coop doesn't open. So you will have to pull this combine harvester out. We do have a tractor in here, though. It's very small. So, yeah, there you go. That's going to have to be fixed. That's not good at all. Let's see, we can just pull this forward a little bit. There you go. Now we're out, no issues. There is not a lot of equipment here. It is pretty sweet. We've got a really interesting hilly design on the main farm. However, that's annoying. However, the map kind of feels empty. And let me tell you why. There's no ambient sounds. Nothing makes noise on the map. Not even the waterfall. We have a really big waterfall over here. My game audio's on. There's just nothing. No sound whatsoever. It's creepy is what it is. Anyway, I hope we get some environmental sounds added because the whole place, there's no wind. There's nothing, no sounds whatsoever. As far as everything else goes, here is your crop calendar, which is definitely modified. Have some fun with that one. Looks like we've got a lot more opportunity now. As far as animals, we do have the chicken coop, which we were getting stuck in. Here are some contracts after a couple hours in the game. Some decent harvesting contracts, not bad at all. Good to see those. We also have some available production chains, however, none owned by default. And if we drop down here to the equipment, well, you've already seen the 2 vehicles that we get, but we do have a couple more tools, which is always nice. I think there's plenty there to get you guys started. As I mentioned, no required mods, so let's move on. And your only other new one today for all platforms is Sumidouro Farm. This is a South American map from Andre ML. Renegados modding and ML Studio. There are 8 required mods. The map itself is 610 megabytes, and the required mods total up to 138 megabytes, making it about, what is that, 750-ish meg, somewhere around there. You might have been able to tell this is a Brazilian map. It also features realistic terrain and is a returning map from Farming Simulator 22. So if you played it on that and you liked it, it is back, so definitely check it out. We have 29 fields, all with missions. We start with 2 farmyards. The first one has 2 cattle feedlots and a couple barns and dairy cows, and the second one's got a farm silo and some sheds. There's no snow on the map. As you probably expected, winters in this region are only cold and dry. Here is our PDA. We get no new crop types added with this. Farmlands, well, we own stuff up here at the top, so we'll check that out. We do have Farmland 32 down in here, and then we get this whole area right here with 31. That's our main farm. We also have a couple areas here, and then, as we mentioned, the secondary one with the silo and the sheds, but everything else can be purchased, so that is always fantastic. Here's our main farm. We got quite a few trees on here. Here's our Brazilian buildings with nice storage, all kinds of goodies going on through here. Loving it, loving it, loving it. And here we have a massive area right here, just full of, well, stuff. But we don't own that, so we'll keep going. All of this we do own, though, and then, of course, we've got our fields over here. And this is our silo complex. This is where your farm silo is and all that good stuff. Now, if we go to the left of our main farm and go south, we also have a small area over here. It's actually not very big because we don't own all of this. We just own this one building here. So it's kind of interesting. This is your building. Pretty cool, though. As far as everything else goes, here is your crop calendar. Looking good, looking good. Taking a look, we have the cow barn large, another one, and then the milking with fence. So we have quite a few of those, but no animals are owned by default. Here's your contracts. As we mentioned, all the fields have contracts, and after a few hours in game, they are all ready to go. No productions on the map, at least owned. You will have to buy a few for that to happen. And then as far as our vehicles go, well, we have no shortage of vehicles here. We have so many vehicles. We have so much equipment. I think you've kind of got everything that you need to get started. Yeah, there you go. What do you think about that? Not too shabby. And just like always, here are your 8 required mods if you want to take a screenshot. That's all the new ones, so now let's talk updates for all platforms. We have Autoload Pallets from Yoast. He's added Autoload Trigger to liquid fertilizer and herbicide IPC tanks. Next, we have quite a few different emergency vehicles, as you can see. So let's start with this one, the TGE TSF-W. We have update 1002, added professional fire brigade design, added design without lettering, increased the light tower range, fixed the beacon real light, the right side, also added light bar number 2, added RAL3020 color option, added configuration for yellow and white wrapping and liveries, changed the horn control to toggleable, changed from automatic to manual transmission, added rear view camera, which is only used with the MB Trucks DLC, they've added real GPS, which is PC only, and added vehicle assistant system functions, which is PC only as well. Next one, the TGE Ambulance. They've improved the colors of the neon yellow, NEH white, and green wrap, and added vehicle assistance system. It'd be turntable ladder 2312. Minor bugs fixed, added air horns to the beacons, added red toned configuration, added professional fire brigade wrapping, and vehicle assistance system. MB Trucks Unimog 5023. This one, they've added more front flashers, added a winch, added professional fire design, fix the mesh error and vehicle assistance system. And MV Truck's logistics vehicle chassis no longer protrudes through the footwell, fix the loading ramp error, added red toll config, added a rear warning marker, bar number 2, fresh on fire design, and vehicle assistance system. We also have the Skoda Kodiaq version 1001, big one here. So horn no longer activates at the gas station. Interesting. They've also added compressed air, added red tone configuration, doors and trunk can now be open, added fire department livery 1 and 2, professional firefighter livery, British ambulance livery, Australian police livery, Austrian, sorry, not Australian, ambulance livery there as well, searchlight for beam 1, steel rims, configuration for trailer hitch, reverse camera with the MB Trucks DLC, and I don't know what the last one is. Vehicle assistance, probably. Got a placeable stuck in between everything. The small farm package, improve the performance of manure and liquid manure. Back to fire truck skin, Lizard Unifire LF8-6. They've added vehicle assistance system support, added a Lizard logo, reflector configuration for gold and silver, changed the horn control, which is now optional via the vehicle assistance system, and fixed the rim color, which is now saved. Next to last, the RCMPK1 console release and fix the sticker wetting. And we got an update to the map. Homestead was actually released yesterday, so they have fixed the water texture and the terrain in the swamp area. Now jumping over to new ones for PC and Mac players, we have the Gaher Metalic Tipping Trailer Pack. Now, with this one, we have 3 tippers. We have the 50, the 60, and the 80. These are going to be 14,000, 21,000, and 27.5 up to 37,000. All of them feature very similar customization options, so we'll just show off the big one. Wheel brands from Trelleborg, BKT, Friedrichshafen. We also have different wheel setups to choose from. A ladder can be added, and that's going to be around towards the front. Very cool. Now, if you go with no, it's actually, yes, it is ladder and platform. So there's that. Beacon light options, you can add that if you would like. And then we have the extension, which can be lowered at least on this version, but not the others. Next one is the Mega Timber Long from Sid Modding. If I remember right, we had this back at Farming Simulator 22, did we not? I believe they brought the Mega brand in there. Anyway, regardless, it is back and it looks like it is PC only, unfortunately. Still some issues getting the branding on the consoles. Let's go. Come on. Wheel setups. We have a couple different setups here, so you could choose those. Extra wheels. Well, this is just a spare tire in there. And then extensions. You've got either 6 or 10 to hold on to the logs. Then you've got main color here. We'll change that up. That's going to be your frame. Design color. We'll change this one up. That's going to be your Stuckins and rim colors. And we got all the relevant ones there. A couple more new ones for PC and Mac players. We have Courseplay GPS Extension. This mod adds automatic steering to vehicles based on Courseplay. It says curses, but it means courses. In order to use the mod, though, there is a need to have Courseplay installed, so it is a required mod. We've also got Moveable Mirrors, which is literally exactly what it sounds like, although there's a lot of mods that have movable mirrors. Anyway, this adds movable mirrors to everything else. You got Manual Cover, which manually controls covers while on foot near vehicles. There's a couple mods that include this already. However, it is nice that all of them have it, and you can select it right inside of the configuration. Slow Fold Global, which adds slower folding animations. Wet Speed Limit, which is literally real speed limit, but with a different key binding. And Vehicle Mileage, which displays vehicle odometer and trip meter above the working hours display, which is very cool. Lastly, today, updates for PC and Mac players. We'll start with the Riman Tool Pack. This will be version 1002. The GHR and GHRC main grapple bucket collision correction. Next is PowerTools, likely the most used mod by me, at least in Farming Simulator. So we have a hotfix, prevent non-admins from accessing the field options menu. New, remove tree function. However, there's no default key binding. You will need to put one in. And we have some fixes. Prevent script errors in key event. No more Lua error. Attempt to index nil with I10N when saving. I've had that issue a couple times. Preventing the field menu from showing on non-field farming. Ensure the field menu can only be activated on owned land. And prevent the fill menu to appear on vehicles without usable fill units. Next up, Vehicle Shop Storage. Fixed an issue in stored mods when removed. Map Supplementary package, they have new production, commercial kitchen. Also, trigger for sugar factory in Multimap and Oberthal corrected. A trigger for placeable pasta factory corrected. A digital display, another very cool mod. So performance optimizations. We also have display now also shows what belongs to the player's farm from the connected storage to support silos with per farm setting. Also for connections without storage entries, these are now integrated via the own husbandry fill level changed. The call for this, which is missing in the base game, has been added to placeable husbandry food. Also, colors of inputs and animal stables corrected. One that desperately needed an update, the Vehicle Assistance System, version 1001. They have fixed the reverse camera control not activating correctly when steering direction change is set to automatic. Fixed the intelligent cruise control, brakes when vehicle size parameters are inaccurate. Fixed the automatic light control, which does not affect attached equipment. Changed the increased braking force at automatic emergency brake vent, and added disable turn on vehicle parameter. Additionally, we have updates for crop rotation, which fixed a bug on cards with removed standard fruit. So when they say cards, they mean maps. And speaking of maps, we have an update to Oberthal on PC, version 1.1. Onion placement corrected. Decorative grass can now be mowed and plowed again. Stables can be placed with renewable pasture again. Trigger for chicken coop delivery enlarged. Script for disabling the time limit for emissions revised can now also be enabled or disabled in the settings. And scale of decorations for all farms has been corrected. A new save game is recommended. And lastly, we have an update to Multimap version 1.2. There we go. Onion placement corrected. Decorative grass can be mowed again. Stables placement with renewable pasture again. Script for disabling the time limit for mission revised. And scale of farm decorations corrected. New save game recommended. And that is it. All your mods for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like if you did. Get subscribed if you are new. If you haven't checked it out, we had a new DLC announced today. The Burrito Pack, which sounds like burrito every time I say it. I apologize. We got 2 videos out on that. One of them is the announcement talking about all the things you need to know about it, and then the other one is all of the equipment. So definitely check those if you haven't seen them already. Otherwise, just have an awesome day. Enjoy these mods. We'll see you in the next one.